Welcome to the second and last share out of this book dash. It's been a really wonderful week working with 20 contributors, mentors, and artists, and we will show you some of the things that we worked on, and everybody who were the part of book dash and who's here will have also chance to demo their work. Again, a reminder, we do have a HackMD, which is a shared document, which you are welcome to write into. We ask for you to sign up by adding your name, a little bit about yourself, what brings you here. And if you would like to share also an icebreaker, who are you most thankful for this week? So Maria says she's super grateful to Emma and me for making this week an awesome week, and everybody at Book Dash for being very patient and helpful. And Brigitte is very thankful for the atmosphere everyone created. And in fact, I should list all the people attending. Everyone was brilliant. Can't agree more. We have Paul joining. So lovely to have you, Paul. Paul was working with us last summer, and Paul was part of last Book Dash, and we really enjoyed having him. So lovely to see you.
Glad to be back.
So
to see the rest of.
I'm going to go through the screen and ask folks to introduce themselves, and people who have the screen off, you can also just write in the chat. I would not ask you to unmute and share. So with that, I am Malvika Sharan. I am the community manager of the Turing Way. And in the last 1 week, I've been working with the planning committee and collaborating with people, working on different aspects of the project and the guide, and you will hear all about it. And with that, I'm going to pass it to Kirsty.
Oh, I was writing down my thankful. I was writing down lovely things about Malvika. Am I introducing myself? Yes, so sorry. So I am Kirsty. I lead a program at the Alan Turing Institute called Tools, Practices and Systems. And I have been accused of caring mostly about that P in the middle. The exact phrasing was it's just one big P, which I think is probably true, to be perfectly honest. I think the practices of how we work together and the purpose of why we would use those particular ways of centralized and decentralized and synchronous and asynchronous and remote and in-person ways of working are a lot of the things that I've been thinking about this week, and also what sort of center inside of my work. So I started the Turing Way a few years ago, and it's wonderful to see weeks like this where I'm becoming sort of, although there are still some things that I can contribute, I'm becoming less and less important in the event, in the project, because so many other people are sharing their expertise and driving us forward. So thank you to everyone. Malvika, are you going to keep taking us around the screen?
Yes, I'm going to go to Esther next.
Hello, everyone. I'm Esther. I'm a data steward at the Delft University of Technology in the Netherlands. And the cat is prettier. And there was another cat. Anyway, so that's my life, being a data steward and having cats and not being able to sit on my chair. I've been a contributor to the Turing Way since one of their book dashes, so not this one, but the one in February 2020. And I am very happily engaged with the data management part of that, since that's also my job. And this week was very exciting to meet lots of new and enthusiastic people. And I am very happy about that. And I think that was my introduction.
Thank you, Esther. Batul.
Hi everyone, I am Batul Marzouk. I am computational biologist and bioinformatician affiliated to the University of Liverpool and Kaimarki in Saudi Arabia. I'm part of the Our Ladies Global team, also part of the Carbon Trees. I've been involved with the Turing Way since the last Book Dash, so I'm very excited to meet a lot of new faces here, It was an amazing week, although I didn't do much work, but I had I've learned a lot during this week from discussion with a lot of people. So thank you, everyone.
I'm rolling my eyes because Batul does a lot and still says she doesn't do enough. Going
I
to
was rolling my
Brigitta.
eyes too.
I'm going to pass it to
Okay, so I'm Brigitta Schippertz. I'm an astromartin business software engineer at the Dirac Institute in the University of Washington. I mostly work with open source software, maintaining libraries. And I came to BookDash in the previous event. So that was my first time, and it was such a great atmosphere. I really wanted to come back. And this time I had the illusion that I turned to be a morning person, which is, I can say that the experiment shows that I'm not, but it's all good. And it was great to working with Batul and all the others in the afternoon sessions. So yeah, it was really a pleasure. I'm looking forward to come back whenever I can.
Thank you, Brigitta. Marta.
Hi, everyone. I'm Marta. I am a research assistant and teaching fellow at the University of Leicester. I first took part in the BookDash in the previous session, the one in November 2020. And this time I didn't take part in all of the sessions that I could have taken part in because I was busier, and it was always a struggle to be on time for the 8:30 one. I struggled a lot with that, but I'm still very happy that I was able to do something good because I already knew a bit what I wanted to do. So I built on what I did in the previous session, in the previous BookDash. So I think I did small but relevant steps. So I'm happy with that.
Thank you, Marta. Maria.
Hi, everyone. I'm Maria. I'm from Buenos Aires, Argentina. I'm a data analyst and work in the city government with health data. I've been contributing to the Guide for Communications, to a chapter, and I wanted to thank you all again because it has been an amazing week, and I had my doubts. I didn't know what I was going to find, and I felt super welcome and learned a lot from everyone. So yeah, it's been an awesome week. Look forward to come back.
Thanks, Maria. Mariana.
Hi, everyone. I am Mariana. I am an undergrad student at the Central University of Venezuela. I study physics, and this is my first collaboration online. I did way more than I thought I could, and it was really fun. I love the community and felt very welcome.
Thanks, Mariana. Danny.
Hi, folks. I'm Danny. I am a visiting fellow at the National Institutes of Health in Maryland. I'm in Washington, D.C. today, where I live. I have kind of dipped my toe in contributing to the guide in the past, just kind of doing kind of formatting and proofreading kind of stuff. At some point, I would love to get more involved and contribute more. It's a long-term ambition to find the time and energy to do so, and one day I will. Yeah, I like just kind of, I guess I'm here today just to kind of keep myself up to date with where things are at, and see, I guess at some point there'll be a moment where I'm like, aha, that's the thing that I need to do, and then I will do that. So yeah, hi.
I'm glad that you're saying this because Daniel is had a sad face that he isn't a contributor. Just want to reassure you, even if you're not a contributor, you're in the right place, and I'm really glad that you could join. Can I ask Alejandro now?
Hi there, I am postdoc at the Turing, and I just was invited by Christy. I just started 3 weeks back my new position at the Turing, but I hope to participate more in the BookDash in the future one, but now I'm contributing, translating to Spanish. So It's amazing. It looks a great community, and looking forward to hearing what have you done so far during this week. And yeah, thank you.
Great. Mariana is also translating next, so it's good that you're both here.
Welcome, Mariana.
Prakhar.
Hi, so I'm actually glad Daniel also joined in, because just like him, I'm also not a contributor. I'm an undergrad at Shivnadi University in India. I attended the DSG in September last year and actually heard Kirsty talk about Turing at that time. And I actually got really interested in the idea. And then I was just scrolling through Twitter this one day and I saw about this event and I just thought, you know what, I want to know more about it. So I just joined in the call. So I have no idea, like I saw the progress on the Turing Page official website, but I don't really know like what all is involved, and I just wanted to find out more and see how I could also contribute. So yeah.
Great that you could join. So the Twitter matters. I wonder who reads our tweets. So there's somebody. Paul.
So, hi everyone, my name is Paul Oecho. I'm currently a PhD student at the University of Glasgow, and I got involved in the Turing Way through the Google Season of Docs program during the fall last year, and it was a really awesome experience. I took part in the last book dash as well, and it was fun getting to meet other members of the community and like working as a team and all of that stuff. And I'm eager to kind of know what's been going on with the community, and that's why I'm here today. So nice to meet everyone.
I'm really glad to have everybody, but I'm so delighted to see Paul could join too from previous Book Dash. Yes, Emma.
Oh, it's actually me. I'm so happy that Paul's here because I worked with him in the last Book Dash and it was a joy. So, so hi, Paul. Amazing. So hi, I'm Emma. I'm sorry I'm a bit late. I was cooking some kiddies some dinner, my kiddies, not anyone else's. And yeah, though I could do that, I suppose. It would take much longer. I work at the Alan Turing Institute and I've been here during the Book Dash, working with everybody and really enjoyed my week. And yes, can't think of anything else. What do I do? I'm also an archaeologist. And I'm just going to be starting a project on fair data in my field, which is quite a fun thing to start looking at. And yeah, thanks.
And Daniel.
Can you hear me? Yeah, cool. I'm Daniel. I am a PhD student at the University of Leeds in computational social science. I participated a couple of weeks ago in one of the Turing challenges, one of the data analyst challenges, and I learned about the Turing Way like a little bit before that, and I kind of advocate for open science. So I want to know how I can just contribute to the project in any useful way. So that's why I signed up for this meeting, basically. Basically that.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, everybody, for introducing yourself. And the next part of this call is going to be probably super interesting because all the people from the Book Dash are going to demo what they've worked on. And yeah, I'm just going to quickly ask, I hadn't asked this, Emma, but would you like to share that? Because you did it early this morning. It was really fun.
No, I'm really super tired, but thank you.
All right, great. So what I'm going to do is I'll post the names in the chat as for people who are, who will be presenting. And then with that, Batul, will you be ready already to demo?
Okay, I can go first. Okay, I'm going to share screen right now. Do you see my screen? Okay, good. Good. So I'm supposed to write a chapter about GitHub Action because what we have right now in the book is about Travis, and we want to remove that part, replace it with GitHub Action. And I've been trying to find time to finish it, and I think it's now hopefully ready to merge. So what we've done, we changed the landing page. We made it shorter because it was quite long in the book. We added illustration here. And then this part of the intro to continuous integration a bit recycled from the book itself. I added a bit of options here and more documentation, but the most important part I would say is this one. So this is getting started with GitHub Action. We really put a lot of effort to trying to make it as easy as possible for people who've never done any kind of continuous integration or written any YAML file or any GitHub Action. So this is a new illustrator that we made it with Sophie, the amazing Sophie, who's a Skyperia artist. So this is the GitHub activists listening to several events, BR created, merge, issue created, and then that will trigger an action. It could be test, it could be deployment, it could be sorting, it could be labeling. And then I go here to explain the different vocabulary for GitHub because there is a lot of vocabulary and jargons. First, I did this diagram, but then even with this diagram, it's hard to remember. So you can use this illustrator to remember the term, what the steps means, what the action means, what workflow means. And then here a definition, and then how to get a start. And you can start with template from the GitHub Action itself, from GitHub. So this is a GIF showing you how to start with it. You can also use libraries. You can also use inspiration from other projects like the Turing Way. And once you use library or templates, it's going to give you a template for everything you need. You might need to make really small changes. Then I go to explain the building block for the GitHub Action. So how you can write the YAML file from the beginning. We used some Hello World example, and then we go in more details here. So we're really interested, there's a checklist obviously here to show you like very simple way what you should have done. But we are very, very interested to get people who've never done any kind of continuous integration, who've never written any YAML file for GitHub Action to read and see if it does make sense, if is it easier for them to understand. And so this is the VR. And why are we doing the VR? I think this is Brigitte going to speak about it, but we have this really funny as well book that Brigitte going to speak about, and it's something to do with Latin word within the binary image, not the text itself. So yeah, I'm going to leave it here. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Batul. Can we have a virtual clap, which is quiet clap, but you can also make noise. We won't hear it. Batul, I would have asked you to also live merge, but I see that there's a Latin error and we can't do it. So maybe by the end of this call, we might be able to merge that. I'll go to, let me see. Can I, Brigitte, we don't have your name, but because you were working with Batul, do you want to go next?
Yeah, so I don't have anything to show, except there is a link in Batul's pull request to another pull request that fixes the Latin error. So if that can be merged, then we can go ahead, rebase Batul's pull request and merge it as soon as possible. So yeah, I love finding these tiny bugs and then fixing them. So I was quite grateful that I found something in the infrastructure that was broken and I could fix it. So.
And you fixed the error with adding a CI. So you basically added a test to get the test running. Is that right?
I didn't add a test. Yeah, I just fixed it. Yeah, that wasn't good practice. I couldn't reproduce it locally on my machine. I think it's because binary files are coming up. If you look at them as text files, you can grab for strings in them. And I think just the difference on the virtual machine is a different architecture than mine, so the binaries might come up differently. So it was like you are looking for these patterns like ETC and EG in everywhere. And yeah, it was looking into figures. Yeah, so I didn't do as much as I wanted, but I'm happy that I could help a little bit of finishing the action chapter and also to fix this and the images. Yeah, I will come back to the images later. I think that's it from my side.
Thank you, Brigitte. We have Esther.
And I'm super excited that I actually have something to show in this share out, because we had another development session this afternoon and it wasn't super busy, but we were there, and I can show you what I've been working on, which is a little bit of a section on how to link your data and your codes and your publication. And it's still, it needs some brushing up because it currently says linking data and code, but it's mostly about data. So I still need to work on this, but there's a pull request going. Yeah, it's a bit larger than I thought it would be, which is probably why it took me a little bit more time. And super thanks to Laura for reviewing this and making it a lot bigger and more structured. Yeah, super nice. And definitely if you have some more input, do let me know. And today I also had a nice chat with Kirsty about where the research data management stuff should go. So exciting discussions in the future. And the rest of the week, I was just very happy to be there during the sessions which I was able to attend. I had a very stressful week, and none of that had to do with the Turing Way Book Dash sessions. It was always just the time to just be present and relax, and I feel very grateful about everyone that was there. So thank you for sharing all your insights, for all your good vibes, and for just being there in the week. And I'm looking forward to some reviewing some pull requests later next week somewhere. Thank you.
Thanks, Esther. I didn't do this for Brigitte, but can we have collective clap for Brigitte and Esther? See, this is why Emma was so good. She was doing it more consistently than I was. The next one is Maria.
Yes, well, the chapter I've been working on is the one Marta has been working for a while longer than me. Maybe Marta can give the overview and I can chip in specific parts.
Yeah, you both can do it together.
Okay, I think yes, we can do that. Let me just share. Where? Okay. And as usual, I have like 10 different tabs open. No, wait. No, what am I doing? Maria, do you have the tab open before?
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay, before
yeah, sure.
I share with you all the 10 tabs that I have open on my screen.
I'll share my screen right now.
You're explaining the state of my computer. Marta, if you can stop sharing.
Yes, I'm trying. Okay, stop share. Done.
Okay, you're now seeing my screen.
Yes. How do you want to do, Maria?
Well, maybe you could like explain a little the context of how this guide emerged.
So this is a part of the guide for communication that we had already started putting together during the previous book dash, but I think even before then there was already something. And between the previous book dash and this one, we reached out to some relevant contacts, and we put together some case studies that we will present in the chapter. So case studies of people who put together successful blogs or other resources and share good examples of like scientific communication. And in the subsections, we have different parts. So there is a part dedicated to blogs. So how to write a blog, what platform you can use to write your blog, how you can get started, and what are the best platforms and resources you can use for that. And this is one of the case studies that we have. Then another part is the lay summaries. So why are lay summaries useful, how you can write one, and what you can use it for. Then we have the podcast section that I think we are looking for more input for this. So if any of you has suggestions or has been working actively with podcasts, they are more than welcome to contribute to this part. Then yes, there's I think I also had a personal story on the blogs that I wasn't able to post yet because I'm still waiting for my colleague to tell me whether I can link to her personal website, but that's okay, that's good. I'll write that down. Okay, that sounds good. And while talking to Emma, I also brought up the Center for Evidence Communication at the University of Cambridge. And I know that Spiegelhalter has, in addition to all the books, he also started a podcast relatively recently. So that could be another interesting case study. And so what's next? Then there's social media. So we have all the part on all the section on Twitter, how you can use Twitter, what are the best platforms and tools that you can use with Twitter. So like, for example, Emma and I were talking about TweetDeck and the pros and cons it has and how it helps you co-manage different accounts at once. Then poster presentations, which I think, was it the one where Maria added something? Would you like to add something with this regard, Maria?
Yeah, sure. I've been working mostly in this subchapter. I think it's really interesting to think that presenting posters or conference talks in wide events with wide audiences, it's something very flexible, but that requires a very focused approach. So I like exploring that and adding a lot of resources that one can use. Some of them perhaps you might be aware or others not, but I think it's a useful subchapter. And I will also be interviewing someone, an Argentinian researcher and data scientist. So yeah, we will be interviewing her next week. So yeah, we will fill this part out later, along with the social media that is being already worked on, but it's not yet in the pull request. So yeah, that's what's been keeping me busy this week.
I was thinking, like, looking at that subsection, do we have, I can't see it here, but do we also have a paragraph on what you can use to draw posters? Do you have any suggestion about that? Because most of the times I use PowerPoint, but I was also taught how to draw posters in Inkscape, which personally is a nightmare for me because like the structure is very good, but then when I actually have to write something, I just can't do it. But it would be interesting if other people know of other resources they have found useful to draw posters. I had for presentations, I've also seen Prezi being used. So yeah, that could also be an interesting thing to to add to this part. I don't know what you all think.
Yes, exactly. Yes, I worked on mostly some visual resources like photograph illustrations and icons, but I think the point Marta makes is really interesting and we should explore it. So yeah, this is what we've been working on, mostly Marta and Emma, of course. But I don't know if you have any questions. I have nothing more to add.
That's so much work. I mean, I'm just like looking at, that's just so much work. This is an incredible resource in my opinion. All right, I'm gonna ask you to stop sharing so we can show you how much we love it by, yeah, with emojis and virtual claps and everything. Emma has also been working on that. I don't know, Emma, sorry, I'm gonna ask you, do you wanna share something about that chapter?
I just want to say thanks to Marta and Maria, because I sort of made the bones of that sort of those chapters, but I really needed help and I'd really run out of steam when it came to the presentation section. And Maria was like, oh, I know about this, and she's just taken that on really, really well. So it's just been really good sort of collaborative work from the three of us this week, just working together to kind of get that done. And I'm going to really try and get the social media bit done next week, so at least we could put a first draft of that in for editing, I think. So yeah, great. So thank you, Marta and Maria, for your help.
So the next one is Mariana. And hi, Martin. I'm dropping the HackMD for you to see where we are at. For Mariana, I'm going to share my screen and give her remote access so she can look through. So Mariana and I were working on project design overview chapter, and the reason we wanted to work on it is that we have lots of stuff in the book, in the Turing Way, and it can be super overwhelming for people to start looking at things because there are like about 150 chapters that you probably don't want to read. So what Mariana has done is she curated chapters that she thinks or we think is going to be useful for people to start with before they start with project design. And Nina has been reviewing it, and I wanted to show this one particular comment where I added a note which says that there are many chapters we don't talk about to avoid cognition load, and that actually caused cognition load for Nina because that's not a standard term. So I have to work on that. So yeah, I'll give it to you, Mariana. The next one is where you can show what you worked on.
Okay, let me see. Okay, so as Malvika said, I started here, I didn't know what I could do for the Turing. So I talked with Malvika and she told me about this issue. That was perfect for me because I am working on my project. So I should have some idea of how to design a project. And I actually started around the reproducibility methods. So the idea is to guide people through what you need to do to start your project. So choosing a license, knowing how you will manage your data, your computational reproducibility, and all this is on the Turing already. So it's more like the steps, some content about what you should do. Maybe you already know how to do this, but if not, you can go to each chapter and read what everything is about. So this is for starting your project, all the different things you should do. Then when it's already started and you're in the working phase, you should keep your version control and keep documenting everything you're doing. So everything is here. And then you should share your results. And again, everything is on the Turing already. So it's just like a quick review of what you need to do. And if you want to read more about everything, you can go to the links. Then Malvika, of course, collaborated with me, and we finished this part with how's it called? She linked it here, a workshops they had about this topic, and well, everything here that was added are like important points to why do this, why it's important, why you should plan your reproducibility. Yeah, the bonus section is the best, because you know from people that have already worked with their projects what problems did they encounter, and having all there I think is really useful, because for me when I started reading the Turing, I actually didn't know what should I apply, how to apply it, and this is a really organized way to read it, for if you are a first timer doing a project, for example. And I worked on Nimash. I don't know where it is.
I'll show you the image, but you have also worked on adding the ethical and legal approval section.
Yeah.
Wonderful. That's a lot of work again. I really enjoyed working on this with you. I'm gonna stop sharing and let's give a virtual round of applause to Mariana. And last one is our very own Kirsty.
Awesome. Sorry, I was doing my live tweeting as well. I miss going to conferences for lots of different ways, but I particularly miss the fact they used to be really quite skilled at live tweeting, and I was fast, and I enjoyed the cognitive challenge of having to summarize what people were saying.
Wait.
I was also listening to them.
So you can write a chapter on that, right?
I should write. It's really like it's fun. It's fun. It's not as exhausting as the work that that Sophie does of listening to what we say and then translating that into illustrations. That I think is incredible amounts of sort of intellectual work putting on top. But yes, I would like to share with you the chapter that we merged this morning. It got into a real exciting Git mess around having capital letters and lowercase letters in the same file name for an image. So I want to thank Brigitte as well for putting forward a fix for that, which involves underscores and lowercase. And we do in fact already have a chapter in the Turing Way about how that's like file naming systems are very valuable, and we lived that experience of why file naming systems are very valuable. So let me share my screen. I am going to scroll up so it's in the main branch. We're going to go to the overview for reproducible research. And the overview for reproducible research takes you through some definitions. These have been in here since actually our first edition. So we've got a few different definitions of reproducible research. We've got a lovely chapter on some added advantages for working reproducibly, or why it sort of ends up being a good thing for your work. And then this chapter is something that I've been giving talks about for a long time, in fact, probably since 2016, on the fact that there are actually some pretty major barriers to reproducible research. I really hope this page is going to load. My laptop hasn't decided to have a moment. Here you go. And there is sort of quite a few, this summary here sort of talks about the fact that there are incentive structure challenges. There are some technical and theoretical challenges of working with big data, or remembering that being reproducible is not actually the goal that we're aiming towards, because you can reproduce exactly the wrong answer, but it's maybe a stepping stone to thinking about how you can verify your work and other people's work. And then some of these barriers around pressures on individual researchers. So the first draft of this was written in 2019 at a workshop that I ran, and then I didn't close those pull requests and merge them, and then the book got out of date because so many contributions had come through. And so this was a really great moment to sort of be able to use some of these illustrations from a talk that I gave back in 2017, but actually be able to kind of cover all of these different points. So, and I really enjoyed finishing with the point that this is how, when I give talks, I always highlight the fact that there are additional skills that you need in order to work reproducibly. They're not often taught very well, and like that is one of the main goals of the Turing Way, is to sort of help people to learn those skills. And so that was, I'm very, very proud of getting this this chapter finally in. I'm really glad about it. And I'll say I also did some thinking about the structure of the collaboration book, but maybe I'll talk about that when we have the illustrations up.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much, Kirsty. And I just posted that your chapter is in making since 2017 and the issue is open since 2019 and it has finally made it. Great. Virtual round of applause to Kirsty for also live tweeting.